It's warm in here. Okay. I have basically 9 and 3/4.
In this week's episode, Todd mounts our battery chargers, our boat survives another hurricane, and we show you where those homemade bus bars
This
go.
thing fits. Did the math correctly. Okay.
2 years ago, we purchased a hurricane-damaged boat with the dream of sailing her around the world. Together with our kids, we've been learning, laughing, and working to make this dream come true. This is the story of our adventures on a sailboat named Spoondrifter. We have 4 Delta Q chargers dedicated for our electric motor's battery bank.
I'm going to do the bottom first.
Uh-oh. Did you buy any extra?
Yeah, I did.
Todd goes into more detail on what these do and exactly how they work towards the end of this video. Well, that's pretty cool. Now what? Do they plug into each other in a row?
No, they all 4 go to the batteries. What I want to do is have them switched individually so I can turn them on one at a time or turn them off. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do that through a breaker over there yet or what, but the idea is you can run all 4 of them at the same time, and they have a computer chip that senses each other, and so they put out the maximum. As the batteries need less and less, they'll start shutting down one at a time until there's only one running. So there's one that becomes a master and all the rest slave off of it.
All right. Now we gotta get the wires, right?
Yep. So we're getting a current sensor for our motor, and in the process of doing that, Electric Yacht offered to go ahead and upgrade all of the firmware on everything and make sure that we have the current and latest controllers and stuff for this motor. So I have to pull it apart to return some units to him. They have water or coolant inside of them because it's water cooled or liquid cooled. So I got to take these hoses off here on the top, and I got to plug them up so they don't leak and send these back to him, and he's going to reprogram and update what can be updated and send them back. So I'm getting intimate with the electric motor setup. It's like, try also to label everything as you go. It's not easy to ride on a round hose, especially a small one. That's what's left. It's a little easier to see the belt drives down here. Those 2 belts. And then they run a shaft down there in the middle, which turns that shaft right there, which turns our prop shaft. That's the motor in a T.
Ken Newton, Michael Payton,
Marco Villegas,
Stephen Davis.
So Todd and Gabe have been working on a project for our boatyard in exchange for, it's muddy, in exchange to pay off some of our bill. So let's go see how that's coming. Looks awesome.
Coming together.
So while while we were gone working, Hurricane Hannah came through.
Hurricane Hannah wreaking havoc in Texas.
We were a little concerned. We had battened down the boat before we left.
After making landfall as a powerful Category 1 hurricane.
We're in the eye wall of Hurricane Hannah, which is making landfall right now on the coast of South Texas with 90-mile-per-hour winds.
We're really grateful for a friend that is in the boatyard. He is on Sailing La Luna Negra. You can check out his channel up here. And he and some of the other guys in the yard made sure that she was safe and, you know, tightened up all of the boat stands and everything. And we're really grateful that they did that for us.
The first Atlantic hurricane of the season blowing over this semi. Shredding roofs and splitting structures in half and forcing water rescues in Corpus Christi. Texas's Governor Abbott now issuing disaster declarations for more than 30 counties.
Sure how the bilges were going to do and how much water was going to leak. I have to say I am pretty happy with how it turned out. There's not that much for how much rain we got.
Rolling. Shh. Hello everybody. Welcome back. We have been out of town for 30 days or so doing some work. So I am attempting to create a new hairdo along with that. Anyway, you saw last week the bus bars, us making the bus bars. We wanted to show you how they are installed, kind of how they function in the system and where they are. We apologize for the air conditioner noise, but it is 110 degrees in Texas today and we kind of need it to be running or we will die in the middle of the video, and that won't be something that will, I don't know, maybe it would sell well on YouTube, I don't know. This is the bus bar that I made right here. These two are fuse bus bars that we purchased. So this is the positive right here, and I got two battery banks, and both of these battery banks come into the one bus bar right here, and then with these two center wires, those go up to the motor. Okay? So I still have to make a cover for this to cover the positive bus bar, because the positive needs to be covered. This one here is the negative bus bar. So the negative bus bar does the same thing as the positive. It just combines the two battery banks' negative terminals, and then these two go forward to the motor. So let's walk up to the motor and see what that looks like in there. Okay, so the bus bars up in front where the batteries are, they lead to this bus bar right here, which is the positive, and this bus bar right down here, which is the negative. So this bus bar right here, we got 48 volts coming into that, and then this goes to this high power on-off switch for the batteries for the motor from Blue Seas, and then it's going to come out from here. And I go to two starting solenoids. There's one for each motor. As you can see on our particular motor, there's actually two motors on this, so they both need a starting solenoid. From the starting solenoids, they're going to come down and they're going to go one to each side of the motor. We will do this part and the motor part after we get our parts back from Electric Yacht, so we can get the lengths right.
So are those chargers now hooked up?
I mean, these are all mounted in place. These are our Delta Q quick charging systems for the 48 volt bank. We have 4 of them. They're running on 110 volts, so they will put out 1250 watts each. They'll give us 5,000 watts of charging power for charging our 48 volt bank and or running this motor. And those were sized based on our generator right here, which is a 5,000 watt diesel generator.
So what do we
Any
have
other questions?
What do we have to do to get those hooked up?
Well, these need outlets for power because they are AC, so these will run on AC power. And the other end, which would be these ends here, essentially one of these will go in directly into the battery bank because it's got a temperature sensor, so it'll monitor the temperature of the battery banks. All the rest of these will just hook to the two bus bars, and that's how they will charge the battery bank and monitor the battery bank.
on our Amazon wish.
Okay. So we came home to a whole bunch of packages, and over the last few months we've received so many things from you guys off our Amazon wish list. We just want to say thank you. And some of the things that we've received most recently are
Swim snorkel gear, lights, fans,
boat hook,
boat hooks, fishing gear, pirate flat, and bilge pumps.
bilge pumps, and float switches. Those are awesome. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you later.
Bye.